Right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, safety, and much love to the elect members laboring around the four corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make your calling of election sure. All right. What I want to go into today is basically balancing your righteousness. And what you've been seeing, going on in Israel right now is all these guys, coming out, uh, twisting the doctrine. You got this guy breaking down, saying that the mark of beast, the mark of the beast is sin and all kind of madness. He was pushing out the other day, and it's because they doing too much. All right, you don't want to come into this truth doing the most at a young age, so you want to be able to balance your righteousness and not be trying to overexert yourself and doing too much in this truth. Let it be organic. Stick to the guidelines, man. Stop trying to recreate another way in which you haven't seen. We have examples. All right. So you have to balance your righteousness and not try to supersede or go above and beyond, because that's going to lead to being puffed up. It's going to lead to you teaching things that you ought not to teach, and it's going to lead you to become rebellious. All right. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, and I'm gonna go down to the point. 7 and 16. All right. It says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" And that's just something that you see from from young brothers, as in myself. I'm a younger brother myself, but I've also been around enough to know the do's and the don'ts as well. You know, and when you come in, you have to learn these things. You have to learn what to do and what not to do, and that comes by what? By prayer, through observation, watching the apostles and the elders, the men that surround you that's had a level of experience. You want to watch how they move, and you want to try to emulate it to the best of your ability through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, you start teaching, trying to teach doctrines, or you trying to overexert yourself as far as fasting and how many videos you're doing, and you trying to go into the depths of the breakdowns already, but you don't have the foundational pieces. um you doing too much, and you're making yourself overwise. It says, "Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" And how can you destroy yourself? Because you will put so much stress on yourself trying to be overwise and be over righteous, that eventually it'll take over your spirit, to where you every little thing that you're doing, you're trying to overanalyze it, and it ends up destroying you because you're being over righteous in a society that promotes left hand energy. So you're not going to be perfect. Okay, so you got to just pace yourself out um, according to the spirit. All right. Verse 17, "Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish." So don't be going off either. You know, don't be going off doing things that you ought not to be doing around the brothers. Saying things that you ought not to be saying around the brothers. You know, even within your own personal life. You know, don't overindulge in left hand energy, man. You want to abstain from it to the best of your ability. You know, and if you feel like you're being tempted, hey, you gotta go on fast. You gotta pray. Just stay on point, but don't overrun the race, man. All right. Um, it says, "Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?" All right. So I'm gonna go to the next verse. This is Proverbs 25 and 16. It says, "Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee." Now, how do you know when what's sufficient for you? Okay, when you feel as if you have to go above and beyond to prove yourself um another person. Okay, if that makes sense. you know you have to find out what's sufficient for your spirit, in this ministry, so you won't overindulge, you won't do too much to where it actually starts to burn you out. you know and you start losing faith in the and Yahweh Bashim Shai. You start losing faith in the apostles and the elders, and you start to question if the doctrine is 100% right, and it's a deeper knowledge than this, you know, because you're trying to eat too much honey. You know, it says, "Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomited." Okay, meaning, hey, that's the parable, the true parable, a dog that returned to his vomit. You know, so you can actually spit, you can throw up everything that you've learned. Just because you eat too much honey. You know, you start going into more honey and too much honey, and it makes you sick. So you got to be able to balance it out. You know, don't think you got to come in this thing, being 1 year, 2 years, and you got to outwork the next man, or you got to show that I know something. Hey, obviously we know you know something. That's why you in the camp. You wouldn't just be in the camp if you ain't know anything. So you don't have to go above and beyond and show a brother, hey, I know this, I know that. You're supposed to be giving diligence to make your calling sure. Sending up your prayers, reading, doing videos, watching videos, staying up on game. You know, um, I'm gonna go to the last scripture and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 27. It says, "It is not good to eat much honey, for men to search their own glory is not glory." And when you start to do too much, you start to basically seek out your own glory instead of seeking out the glory of Yahweh Bashim Shai. You start to create your own platform using the name of the Lord, and you want to create your own, thing because you think the Lord is dealing with you exclusively, and He's not dealing with the next brother as He's dealing with you. So then you begin to seek out vainglory. You feel like you're worth more than where you're at, or whatever the case may be, because you want to be over righteous. You want to be doing too much. All right, you have to balance it out. You have to pace yourself out in this truth, man. All right, not saying that all right, well, you got a license to sin, because it tells you that in Ecclesiastes, I think the 15th chapter. The scripture say the Lord gave not man a license to sin. So that don't mean you go out here and sin, but you got to balance out, your life, man. You got to balance out your life in this truth and not overindulge. You shouldn't be waking up from the time you wake up. You just cut on GMS videos and you watching GMS videos and you're not reading. You're not praying. You're not fasting, but you're just overindulging in one aspect of the truth. You're not going to have a good balance. You have to balance it out, man. You have to actually put forth those words that you intake. You have to actually try to display that as best as possible in the flesh. And that's how you conquer it, by putting on the good spirits, but you don't have to force it on you. Let it develop. All right. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Alushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, safety, and much love to the elect members laboring around the four corners of the earth. Until the next time, I say, Shalom.